Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Alright, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, those watching all over the world. Magandang buhay po sa inyo lahat. Ito po ang Politica All the Way. And of course, ito po ang inyong lingkod, si Jojo A. Bringing you the current issues of the day in the most light and neutral way as much as possible. No? All the way. Yan. Ang ating pong guest ngayon is very interesting because we're actually Facebook friends and followers kaming dalawa. No? Nag-engage kami doon. Pero ngayon lang kami nagkita in person. No? So, he's a Lasallian lawyer and an Atenean registered nurse. Yan, so he has the best of both worlds. So, among other things, of course, a development worker. He's also a legislative and policy expert, a law professor, and among other things. But most importantly, he's a man of absolute patriotism, love for country. Yan. He's also the host of Raise the Bar. According to ano rin, no? Para sa pangalan niya rin niya, Raise the Bar Legal Radio Program. Palakpakan po natin, Attorney Reyes Del Rosario. Reyes!
Hi! Thank you, Sir Jojo. Finally, no? Na-meet din kita in person.
Finally, nga eh, di ba?
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, di ba? Parang this is like, I feel like this is full circle for me because when I was a law student, I would remember I would study, di ba? For my exams and for my recitations. And I would watch your show, yung medyo late night show. And I would imagine myself actually, sir, na pag lawyer na ako, feeling ko magaling may interview ako dyan. I remember your very iconic na set eh. You had a table there, tapos dalawang chair dito.
Oh,
so,
right, right. And I have, ano doon, Reyes, meron ako doong bell, Attorney Reyes. No? Akala nila, yung bell na yon is just so parang isa sa mga design or parang ano lang, gimmick. Actually, yun eh, libel ang tawag ko doon. Kasi pagka libelous yung ding, 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 ding,
and maraming beses mo na ganun yan.
Ding, 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 yung bell na yun. But thank you very much for making time. There's so many things that I want to ask from you and about you and bleed your expertise no on law. Pero let's start off with medyo a little bit showbiz kasi maraming showbiz naman nangyayari sa buhay natin, especially sa Senate, di ba? Medyo controversial ito na ikaw ay ilang beses nang hinahamon ng isa ring abogado in the person of Jimmy, Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. Ano ba? Paano ba nagsimula yung inyong ano na yan?
Well, Attorney
Scenario.
Jimmy is our friend naman. We were very cordial naman ever since. And ang kagandahan sa amin ni Attorney Jimmy, although we have a lot of disagreements when it comes to politics. Pero pag, for example, nagme-message siya or nagme-message ako, we're very cordial to each other. Pero that's why nga, whenever I post about him, I make sure na hindi naman siya, it doesn't come off as too aggressive.
Okay.
Parang ganun. So, basically, nagsimula siya when he posted about yung Israel and Iran war. He said na parang, nagkakaroon na ng Israel-Iran war, hindi niyo pa pinapauwi si Digong. So sinabi niya, pauwiin niyo na dito, mas mag-focus kayo dun sa Iran war. And I told him na parang these are two things that are not opposing. No? These are not conflicting. Sinabi ko sa kanya na basically, pwede naman magpatuloy yung ICC na, na case. At the same time, let's talk about the war as well. So parang he didn't answer my reply, but instead, he challenged me to a debate. It just well, you know how lawyers are.
Yeah.
You know how lawyers are. So it just so happened na nasa Butuan ako and he didn't want to do it online. Kasi nga naman mas mabuti kung magkita kami face to face. So it never happened. But yeah, pagpunta ko na Manila, napanis na yung issue. So no one was talking about it anymore. So here we are right now. Actually, just yesterday, I posted something about him. I said, parang he said kasi that parang in an interview also with TV5 now with Cesar Lon, he said na parang lawyers can accept warrants no on behalf of the clients.
Right. Okay.
And
I read that.
yeah.
I read about it. Dumaan din yan in my threads. No, it's now trending, and precisely that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. I'm sorry for kaya lang I was very excited kasi sinabi mo yan. Yan na ngayon ang pinag-uusapan din. And that's the hottest issue of the day. Now, in relation to that, bukod kay Jimmy, yung sa issue nyo ni Jimmy, tanungin ko na rin agad ikaw para rin sa nanonood sa atin. Is he correct when he said that? Na
Well, kasi he has justifications. That's why I wanted to hear din as well. I wanted to have a discussion with him. And that's also reason why he challenged me to another debate. Pero, you ask any lawyer, bawal po talagang tumanggap ang isang abogado ng warrant.
Mhm.
Because it must be personally served to the accused. At the same time, kasi alam niyo po, Sir Jojo, yung warrant po kasi, it doesn't only contain na, arrestuin niyo to si ganito, ganyan. It also contains, and dapat din po, obligasyon ng mga law enforcement agencies na basahan siya ng Miranda rights.
Yes.
Di ba? Parang you have the right to counsel, your right to
legal counsel.
Yeah.
Right.
So, those are things na indispensable pagdating sa batas natin. Ibig sabihin, kailangan talaga siyang gawin.
Mhm.
And you can't do that to a lawyer. Kasi you have, the law enforcement agencies need to ensure that that particular person who is accused, naiintindihan niya kung anong binabasa mo. That's why nga, Miranda rights, may translation yan sa Tagalog. Para to make sure na naiintindihan talaga nung binabasaan mo ng Miranda rights. So, again, circling back to your question, Rule 113 is very clear. You need to personally serve it to the accused. It cannot be served through counsel. I don't know po kung anong jurisprudence po yung nakita ni Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. But yeah, even legal luminaries have affirmed na mali talaga yung notion na yun.
Okay, which brings me to a question related to that. Yung warrant na yan,
Yeah.
it is a warrant, Attorney Reyes, na outed by the ICC.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have the same legal framework, or do you have the same rules and regulations here in the Philippines, in the Republic of the Philippines, yung ganyan?
Yeah.
Does it apply to us, or sinasabi niya kasi international iba yun dito, iba yun dito? Does it still apply na dapat personally yung warrant?
Okay. So basically, in the effect of the warrant of the ICC, we have to remember that we're not a member of the Rome Statute anymore. Hindi na tayo signatory. Nag-withdraw na tayo eh.
Right.
So basically, lahat ng nakalagay doon sa Rome Statute that pertains to arrest, kabilang na yung tinatawag nila na competent judicial authority o na kailangan mo pa siyang dalhin sa isang korte bago mo siyang dalhin sa ICC na dapat i-validate pa yung warrant, hindi na po yun applicable sa Pilipinas.
Okay.
Because sabi nga natin, hindi na tayo member ng Rome Statute. Ang basis po ng mga law enforcement agencies natin, ang basis po ng Marcos administration for effecting the arrest is RA 9851. Yung Republic Act 9851, which talks about yung mga international crimes that are punishable also in the Philippines. Nakalagay po doon sa Section 17, very clear po, that the Philippines may opt to surrender or extradite a person with a pending case and a pending warrant before an international tribunal or court. So yun po yung basis natin, sir. It's wrong for kung may lawyer na magsasabi na ang basis natin ang Rome Statute, mali po yun because we're not a member of the Rome Statute
No,
anymore.
wala na. Hindi
We're
na
not
covered, no?
Yeah, and we're talking about two timelines here, Sir Jojo. The first timeline is the jurisdiction of the ICC over the crimes committed. So this is between 2011 to 2019 when we withdrew, 'di ba? So covered tayo doon. Sinabi na yun ng Supreme Court under the case of Pangilinan versus Cayetano. Pero the second timeline that we're talking about is when the warrant of arrest was issued and at the same time, when was it effected? So this particular period, hindi na tayo member ng ICC, so we don't have to follow the Rome Statute anymore.
I see. So, klaro yan, ha?
Yeah.
Klaro yan. Kasi yun ang lagi na pag-uusapan, Attorney Reyes, di ba? Hindi na tayo covered, na ganyan, di ba? So, okay, that is clear now na pwedeng yung warrant na yon is valid and it's warm, it's active.
It's active. And also, sir, we have another basis kasi member tayo ng Interpol. No? Even if nag-withdraw tayo sa Rome Statute, we're still a member of Interpol. And if merong red notice Interpol, that with international cooperation, complementarity, pwede nating i-effect yun.
Anong Attorney Reyes? Ano ang ano ng local courts natin diyan? Ano ang participation?
Well, basically they can always tama naman yung ginagawa na remedy ng mga lawyers ni Senator Bato and ni PRRD, no. They can always question the legality of the warrant of arrest. Pero dito nga sa korte natin, the Supreme Court I think is in the position na nasa safe side sila eh. Remember that the lawyers of Bato, Attorney Jimmy Bondoc and Attorney Torion, they applied for a TRO.
Okay.
Which was parang just recently, dininay yun ng korte. Hindi siya, very clear naman yung sinabi ng korte that this is not a judgment on the merits of the case. No? Hindi po ito judgment base doon sa mas malaking issue na tama ba yung warrant of arrest or enforceable ba yung warrant of arrest. Basically, ang sinasabi ng Supreme Court dito, walang legal remedy na available for them kasi walang irreparable injury. Very technical terms na, pasensya po. But when you say irreparable injury, ini-issue lang po si TRO kasi kapag may isang damage na pwedeng mangyari na hindi na pwedeng i-repair o hindi na pwedeng ayusin kapag pinagpatuloy yung ginagawa ng government agency, which this time is yung pag-enforce ng warrant. Parang in denying the TRO, parang sinasabi ng korte dito na go ahead, parang effect the arrest. Diba? Parang it's already a go signal for the Marcos administration na ipagpatuloy niyo yung arrest.
Parang, sige, green lights na yan. Tama na, everything is in order. Parang yung sinasabi nila, attorney sa impeachment, na hindi, let's put everything in order muna bago para walang technicality, hindi matutuloy. That's why it's probably pushing through now. Kaya wala na sila magawa.
And that's the order they're looking for.
Okay, so in layman's terms, ika nga, Attorney Ray, so it's safe to say na talagang yung pagpunta ng NBI doon, serving their warrant, even with the presence of Senator Trillanes, is all legal and with legal basis, so enforceable talaga.
Yeah. And ang pagpunta naman doon, Sir Jojo, ni Senator Trillanes was not to serve the warrant really. Nagpunta siya doon because he was challenged by Bato. If you remember, di ba? Make my day, di ba?
Come on, Mr. Trillanes!
Make my day.
Make my day!
Ay, disclaimer po, Bisaya po ako, so I can Bisaya po ako, so pwede ko po gawin. Come on, Mr. Trillanes, make my day.
Oh my God. Kaibigan ko pa naman siya naman. Alam ko ang favorite song yan eh.
Ano favorite song?
Favorite song ni, kasi nung dati nagkakaraoke kami, ang kinakanta niyan yung Have I told you lately that I love you?
Have I told you lately? Again na, Bisaya po ako, pwede ko pong gawin yan.
Pero yun naman ang, so actually yun ang pinag-uusapan kasi talaga ngayon. Is it legal? Is it enforceable? Di ba? Dapat bang tulungan natin ang ICC about this? So talagang tama lang na ang NBI is doing this.
Yeah. Sir Jojo,
legally, no?
Yeah. Sir Jojo, ang batas kasi natin is permissive. Ibig sabihin na nakalagay sa RA 9851, may ang nakalagay eh. So the Philippine government may opt to surrender or extradite a person. So prerogative po ito ng Pangulo. Prerogative ito ng administration. Political will po ito. Kaya nga, lagi ko po itong sinasabi, kung hindi po nag-away si Bongbong Marcos at si Sara Duterte, hindi po madadala si Rodrigo Duterte sa ICC.
Yun ang magandang nasabi mo, Attorney Reyes. And thank you very much for that information. Yung keyword na yun, May. No? May na ngayon. Next month, June na.
So dapat May,
June na.
Dapat May arestuhin na.
May arestuhin na. Kasi nung Disyembre pa yan eh. So yun. I agree with you. That's what I tell some of my friends also. Sabi ko, kung naayos nila yan, walang ganyan eh. Baka hindi nga makapasok siguro ang agency ng ICC in the Philippines. But because there's a rift between them, tapos na threatened ba yung political stability nilang dalawa, especially for 2028, lalo ngayon nagkaroon sila ng problema. Nako. Ganun ang nangyari, di ba?
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Sabi nga natin, parang sa politics naman kasi wala kang permanent friends eh.
Oo nga eh. Although, sabi ko nga doon sa ibang kaibigan din natin, wala sana, kasi di ba, Attorney Reyes, I know if you'd agree with me, ito namang problema ng mga ganyan na ngayon with the ICC and all, pati yung mga investigasyon kay Duterte o kina Sara, kina Pulong, yan. It is because of the 2028 elections eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, lagi ko rin yung sinasabi, tama ka Sir Jojo, no? All of these are happening, yung nangyari kay Bato, yung nangyari sa Senate shooting, yung nangyaring rigodon sa Senate, yung pagpapalit ng Senate President, these are all pointing to one reason. And
For
that is because
2028.
of the impeachment of VP Sara.
Right.
Because the people need to remember na ang Senate President po, siya po ang nagiging presiding officer ng impeachment court. And under the Senate rules on impeachment, very powerful po yung presiding officer because basically, siya yung magkocontrol ng naratibo ng impeachment, ng the entire process, even to the point of the outcome. Meron siyang magiging bearing. So that's why they need to secure na kaalyado ni VP Sara ang presiding officer in order for them to ensure na hindi mako-convict si VP Sara.
Pero may chismis ako, narinig ko na...
Sa atin natin na.
Alam mo, ang chismis daw meron daw ding because si Alan Peter is now in a position to dictate who wins or not. Like sinabi mo, basing it on what you said, premising it on what you said. So now, yung kanyang long lost, supposed to be desire to be president, now, parang all of a sudden, parang nagkaroon ng renewal ng renewed tawag dito, the resurgence ba nung kanyang desire to be president.
Nangangarap na naman siya ngayon.
Nangangarap na naman, exactly.
Well, basically tama naman 'yon. Kaya nga there's always a question also on the loyalty of Cayetano. Kasi baka ginagawa niya to para ma-convict din si Sara para mas magkaroon siya ng chance to go to higher office.
Yes, di ba?
Although naman succession rules will dictate na parang if the vice president is impeached, ang papalit naman hindi automatic si Senate President. That's a common misconception.
Okay.
So ang mangyayari dyan, the president will choose from the members of Senate or House. Any member of the Senate or House. Tapos doon po kung sino man sa mga nominees, yun po isa doon ay magiging vice president.
I see. Okay, while we're at it, Attorney Reyes, no, the law of succession. If in case scenario lang ito, so nawala, kunwari lang nawala na si Sara, si VP, na impeach siya. And sa kasamaang palad, something naging medyo incapacitated ng ating presidente. Does it follow that the Senate President automatically becomes the Chief Executive Officer? Ganun ba yan? Yung ba law of succession?
Not permanently. So acting capacity yung tawag doon. Acting capacity. Until we get the next elections, that particular person will become the acting president.
Pero kaya nga, if it happens na if you have 1-2 years to go, then Senate President ka, so you'll be the acting president for 2 years before you have the actual
Yes, and then the House of Representatives, the House Speaker, will become the Vice President. Parang ganun po yun, yung hierarchy niya.
Okay, very interesting yan.
That's why powerful silang dalawa eh.
Oo.
So kung ako, for example, for any reason, ma-impeach na si Sara Duterte, ang next target nila, of course, is the President. Kasi if they want to rank up, their next target will be the President. And they need to do that before he is able to appoint a new vice president. Parang before magkaroon ng vice president. Because if magkaroon na ng vice president tapos tinanggal ang Pangulo or na-incapacitate siya, then the vice president will take over.
Wow, very interesting. Kaya pala galit na galit si we're under attack!
Correct. Was under attack.
Oo nga!
Is under attack.
Is under attack. Was under attack. Was.
When, where, how.
Let's call the whole thing off. May kanta yun ng araw.
Alam mo ba yung kinanta niya? Di ba kumanta din si Senator Bato? Yung PMA hymn ba yun?
Oo nga
Di ko talaga gets. But
then nakita ko niyan, parang Attorney Reyes. Now parang the way things are going for them, or the way they're doing it, is parang they're appealing to emotions now. Which to me, in psychology class before in college, if one does not get it through technically or legally or pragmatically, they always appeal to emotions. That is the last resort of somebody na na medyo ko lang to yan ang napag-aralan ko to noong araw
sige, ako na magsasabi po. Para ako na magsasabi.
Ikaw na, Tony Reyes.
Appeal to pity na po yung ginagawa nila, basically. Actually, if you saw my post...
Very pa nga ako, appeal to emotions. Appeal to pity ka.
Anyway, hindi naman ako media person. So I can say about anything. But anyway, naggumawa nga ako ng collage, sir, yesterday sa isang post ko sa Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it. But I made a collage of all the majority senators crying. Kasi at some point, umiyak na sila
Nag-viral na yan. Dumana sa akin yan.
So basically, ang sinasabi natin dito, tama ka sir if they can't do it technically, if they can't do it legally, if they can't do it using the right process, they will appeal to emotions. And alam naman natin ang mga Pilipino, mahilig tayo sa telenovela. Mahilig tayo sa teleserye. And we like seeing people para nagkakaroon ng drama.
Mhm.
And well, whether it's positive or negative, it
Mhm.
elicits reaction from the people.
Anong implication nun, Race, yung attorney, yung pagtakas ni kasi ang contention naman ni Jimmy is a good friend naman also, no? Ang sabi niya is hindi raw naman hindi raw tumakas siya sa law. Tumakas daw siya dun sa illegal ng ibang bansa or something, no? O ang tinakasan niya raw ay ang tawag doon, meron isang term na parang yung patriotism ang niya, di ba? Yun
Parang nagiging poetic din to.
yes, oo, di ba? Anong implication nun ng sige, hindi siya nahuli, yan na lang. Oo. Pero umiska po siya, hindi siya nagpakita rin, di ba?
So parang ang question is, fugitive na ba talaga siya?
Yes,
Pugante
correct.
na ba talaga siya?
Pugante ba siya or ano?
Yeah, so the term fugitive kasi is very technical pagdating sa batas. And may mga implications kasi yun, sir. In the recent case of Valyacar Transit versus Yanson, sinabi po ng Supreme Court dito that the courts need to be careful with the term fugitive.
Okay.
Kasi nga pag fugitive ka, basically nawawalan ka ng remedy under the law. Kasi 'di ba ang point po nun, tumakas ka na nga sa batas, tapos ngayon humingi ka ng tulong sa mga korte. Tinakasan mo nga kami. So basically, if you're a fugitive, hindi ka na pwedeng humingi ng remedy sa batas.
Okay.
'Di ba? So basically, you have to face the music already. Parang ganun. Pero undergo pa naman ang due process. But wala kang mga relief na makukuha sa korte kasi nga tumakas ka na in the first place eh. That's why dapat careful ang courts in declaring people as such. So ngayon po, as much as possible, we shouldn't use the term fugitive kay Bato because wala pa pong judicial declaration na siya ay fugitive.
Okay. So it has to be a legal, kailangan merong mag-declare from the Justice Department na he's a fugitive,
Yeah,
ba?
or the courts,
courts,
the lower
yeah.
courts, even the RTC kung meron mang application na ganun. But
But can we issue that? I mean, can we do that? In the local courts or ICC dapat magsasabi?
yeah, dapat sa local courts po.
Local
So
courts,
the enforcement agencies can actually apply that sa courts na i-declare siya as
okay.
fugitive.
Okay.
Ang ano lang dito is there is no guideline yet on how kung paano yung process and petition nito because the case of Valyacar versus Yanson was only released late last year if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay.
very new itong parang concept of declaring someone as fugitive din.
I see.
Yeah.
Yung mga kasabwat, Tony Rex, paano yan?
Ayun.
Paano yung mga barkada?
Yung mga barkada. Ito sir, ang nakalagay naman po sa batas sa isang presidential decree, hindi ko lang alam yung specific, but yung on obstruction of justice. Ang nakalagay po doon, sir, is when you help someone evade arrest. So hindi na kailangan na parang i-declare siya na fugitive. When you help someone evade arrest, then that can be considered already as obstruction of justice. So kung ma-prove po, and there are CCTVs to prove it, I think it's just a matter of proving it in court. Kapag po ma-prove na si Senator Robin Padilla nag-facilitate ng evasion of arrest or yung pagtakas ni Senator Bato from the arrest, I think pwede siyang pumasok as obstruction of justice.
And he's just as liable.
Yeah, and ano nga to nakalagay po sa batas na kapag public official po ang na-convict ng obstruction of justice, he is perpetually disqualified from holding office. So ibig sabihin hindi na siya makakatakbo ulit.
Hindi siya makakatakbo.
Oo.
Okay. Pero sabi nila, yung there are now rumors going around, Attorney Reyes, na tawag dito, the presidential pardon is only as good as an executive order and anyone can revoke it.
That's actually not true. Kasi yung binigay po kay Senator
Absolute
Robin Padilla, absolute pardon yun.
Okay.
And absolute pardon is irrevocable.
Irrevocable.
You have to be very clear about that kasi kahit ako hindi naman ako supporter ni ni Senator Robin Padilla, but we also have to parang correct this information. It's very clear po na pag tinuro sa amin sa law school na kapag absolute pardon, irrevocable. And may ibang klaseng pardon kasi katulad ng conditional pardon wherein pwede po itong i-revoke ng president kapag hindi po niya na-fulfill yung conditions ng pardon.
I see. So ang binigay sa kanya is an absolute pardon, meaning wala na yun.
Yeah.
Kahit sabihin niya na wala.
Yeah. And we have to remember, sir, na bigyan ng absolute pardon sa kanya is Rodrigo Duterte.
Oo.
Yeah.
Kaya ganun na lang kanyang loyalty.
Kung wala yung absolute, Kung wala yung absolute pardon kasi, sir, he won't be able to run as senator.
Yung obstruction of justice na yan na sinasabi mo, what happened in the Senate, I'm sure you're aware of it, no?
Mm.
In your own personal ano lang, yung how they took everything into account of what happened. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think there's actually was the Senate under attack in your point of view?
Is under attack.
Was under attack?
Well, ako, I want to be very blunt about this because I want also to people realize na lahat ng mga nangyari, I think one word to describe it, drama.
Oh.
Isang malaking drama talaga ang nangyari. Na-reveal kahapon during the Senate plenary, sinabi galit na galit si Erwin Tulfo eh. Kasi sinabi niya na, why are you accusing the minority? When in fact, si Alan Peter Cayetano mismo ang nagpauwi sa minority. When he said na, kasi una daw sinabi, lahat ng senators magko-caucus, pag-uusapan natin yung parang reorganization. Pero around 5 p.m. daw, during that date, sinabi daw ni Alan Peter Cayetano, hindi, majority na lang yung magko-caucus. So everyone went home. Lahat ng minority,
including Senator Sen Risa.
yeah, everyone will really go home kasi tapos na yung session eh. Ano gagawin nila sa Senate? So the majority stayed. Doon nangyari yung everything. Kasi I feel like if nandun yung minority, hindi nila pwedeng isway doon sa narrative nila.
Oh, wow. Hindi ko nakita yung ano na yan, ha? So
Yeah.
ganun pala ang course of yung time niyan, ha?
Very yun. And kung mapapansin mo, sir, all the majority senators naka-Facebook Live agad. Kahit nga si Senator Mark Villar, who is very parang tahimik lang siya. Well, he's doing his job, pero tahimik lang siya. Pero bigla siya pa-Facebook Live. Diba? Parang ito put you into a question. And parang sinasabi nila, we understand din naman yung emotions ni Senator Pia na umiyak talaga siya sa plenary. But at the end of the day kasi, your pictures and your Facebook Live say otherwise. Nag-buffet pa kayo, nagkakainan pa kayo, tapos after nun, tawanan pa kayo, tapos sasabihin nyo na parang, it was very traumatic for us. How can that be traumatic? Nagtatawanan nga kayo.
Right. Okay, talagang so the psychology of it all is if you're truly under siege, dapat yun hanggat sa dulo, kung pwede lang nga iba, hindi mo napapasok.
Exactly.
Diba? Because yung the pose of danger. Di ba?
And yun sir, protocol yun di ba sir, kahit isang shoot lang, palabasin mo lahat ng tao. Lalo na yung mga senators, you secure them. Ba't naiwan sila sa building if they're really under attack? If there was really threat, tapos na-clear na nila yon, nagtatawanan na nga sila, they could have gone outside already.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Ano na kaya ang dapat nating sabihin sa mga niyan? Attorney Reyes, kasi yung mga tao, they're now in the gray area pagdating ng mga nangyayari dito sa atin na hindi nila alam kung totoo ba yung ganito o totoo ba yung ganyan. But what can you say to our viewers na ito ang dapat yung paniwalaan at ito ang legal when it comes to the what happened the supposed was siege.
Was siege. Okay, so basically you have to look at it from sa mga tao, Tagalogin natin. Tignan niyo po siya sa perspektibo kung saan tignan niyo po yung mga individual na senador. Meron ba silang mga ulterior motives kung bakit nila ginagawa ito?
Okay.
'Di ba? Gaya nga ng nasabi natin kanina, this all points to the fact na makakatulong ito sa impeachment ni VP Sara. 'Di ba? They're all doing that para sa impeachment ni VP Sara, para mapigilan ito or para to ensure that they have the votes to acquit VP Sara. That's number one. Number two po, in evaluating itong mga senador na ito, tignan niyo po yung kanilang sinseridad in dealing with all of these things. Kasi nga, marami pong marami pong mga nuances na kailangan tingnan yung mga tao. Kung talaga nagkaroon ng Senate attack, bakit ganun yung naging reaction ng mga senators? That's number one. Kung nagkaroon talaga ng Senate attack, bakit yung mga CCTV iba yung sinasabi? Kung nagkaroon talaga ng Senate attack, bakit tinanggal si Mau Aplasca? So these are the things that you need to puzzle together. And kung ikaw, kung ordinaryong mamamayan ka, wala kang oras para tagpiin itong lahat na to, maniniwala ka talaga sa naratibo nila. That's why nga, we try as much as possible yung mga content creators na pinagtatagpi-tagpi namin ito para mas maintindihan ng mga tao.
Actually, yun ang kailangan din. Especially ang daming mga fake news ngayon. Ang daling paikutin yung naratibo katulad ni sinabi mo, Reyes. Ako rin, for a while, iniisip ko, ang alam ko lang is the very evident thing is si Alan Peter is now on top of, and it's validated by you, parang on top of the world siya ngayon. Nasa kanya ang sway ng galaw di ba? And some people don't even see this. Akala lang nila, hindi, ano yan?
Senate President lang yan.
Senate President Pero andun na pala lahat. Ganun kalalim pala, Attorney Reyes, no?
And ganun din kalaki ang power na hinahawakan ni Alan Peter Cayetano ngayon. No? Pero we have to remember, Sir Jojo, that this is only a slim majority. 13 lang sila. Dalawa o tatlong bumaliktad, mapapalitan na naman ang Senate presidency. They have to be careful. Kasi yung tao ngayon, maingay na yung mga tao ngayon, more than ever. I haven't, ako personally, in my years of experience activist ako in my years of experience as an activist, at the same time, social media troll. Social media, gumagawa ng content sa social media. I haven't seen the people this angry Parang we're
talaga, ha?
we're all
engaged na talaga, no?
Engaged na tayo. And people, mga apolitical people, na mention like yourself, you don't have any choice right now but to really speak up.
Yeah, right.
Diba?
Oo nga kasi wala naman tayong at least, well, ang downside lang niyan, I don't know if you agree with me, is katulad doon, merong nag-post at na kinalaban yung sinabi nagulat si Dean Santa Maria, Dean Mel. Sabi niya, sinasabi ko lang naman from my legal point of view, who's a legal luminary, tinotroll na siya, binabash na siya ng
tinatawag siyang bobo, tanga.
Oo, di ba?
So, kami sa legal community, sir, we have high respects really for our senior lawyers, especially sa mga law deans, sa mga legal luminaries natin, mga law professors. Kaya, hindi ko talaga maatim din as a lawyer. Kaya I posted about it kasi hindi ko maatim as a lawyer na parang kaya niyong bastos-bastusin yung mga taong ito who have really proven themselves yung knowledge nila sa batas. No?
Yes, oo.
Kahit nga ako, nahihiya nga ako Even other lawyers, even Attorney Jimmy, I can't attack him directly because I respect him as a lawyer. And as lawyers kasi, ang sa amin, we respect each other's opinion because hindi naman kami katulad sa mga doktor na we can have a universal say about things, diba? Na parang, ito talaga yung sakit mo because based on the laboratory findings, etc. Sa mga abogado po kasi, it depends on how we interpret the law.
Yeah, it is subject to interpretation,
Correct.
diba? Yun ang laging Which saka, that's the beauty of being a lawyer or the beauty of law, diba? It's how yung one, perception, two, is yung presentation, then three, kung paano yung i-discuss lahat.
Correct.
And
it depends
evidences
And it depends on the Supreme Court kasi last say naman always sa Supreme Court.
Right. The Supreme
Depends na
Court.
kung sasabihin niya, sige, tama yung interpretation mo, mali yung interpretation mo.
Oo. And of course, yung Supreme Court naman is, sila na yung talagang, we submit to their wisdom. Di ba? Wow. Okay, Tony Reyes, ito naman. Ang NBA at saka ang Office of the Senate Sergeant at Arms are medyo nagkaroon na sila ng banggaan. Supposed to be, was siege, no?
Iswas siege. Ang magandang tawag yun iswas siege. Sige.
ano na ngayon yan? Were they in the right to stop the NBI? Who has authority over this? Na pangyayari na yon? NBI to, dapat sila National Bureau of, national level sila, hininto sila doon. Pero ang Senate supposed to be is an independent department, no?
A co-equal branch.
I'm sorry, independent branch of government. So, paano yan? Sino ang susundan? Sino ang mali? Or sino may mali ba dyan? Or paano i-remedyoan? What is the remedy to that situation?
Okay, so si OSA po, basically, ang primary function niya is to protect the Senate as an institution and the senators. Tama naman yon. Si NBI po is to enforce yun. Entire country naman yung coverage ni NBI regardless. No? So, basically po, si OSA, tama naman po yun. You protect the Senate pero not to the point that you already violate the laws. Kasi primordial pa rin yun. Parang pinaka-importante pa rin yung mga batas natin. And klaro po sa ating konstitusyon, it states there that parliamentary immunity can only be affected if, number one, the Senate is in session and if the crime that we're talking about is only less than 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yung crime na pinag-uusapan po natin under RA 9851, ang minimum po na punishment nito is reclusion temporal, which is sa mga abogado, which is around 14 years.
Oo.
No, so that it's not covered anymore doon sa 6 years na yon. So that stated, pwede pong protektahan ng OSA ang mga senador pagpasok po sila sa parliamentary immunity. But if it's beyond that already, I think other enforcement agencies can already effect, kunyari, the arrest inside the Senate premises. Kasi we have to remember that the Senate building is a public building.
Right.
Ang nagbabayad po sa renta ng Senado, ang nagbabayad po sa mga kuryente nila, isang taong bayan. So yeah, you have to understand that this should be accessible to the public as well, especially to law enforcement agencies. It can't be parang a safe haven for quote-unquote mga people who want to evade arrest.
Right.
Diba? So, ang ginawa naman po kasi ni NBI or even the President of the Philippines, which he didn't have to, is binigyan niya ng courtesy ang Senate by, kasi sinabi ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano na sige, we'll have him under protective custody. Parang yun yung sinabi niya. So si BBM naman, sige, naniwala naman siya, pero yun nga, pinatakas. When you say protective custody kasi sana, sir, sige, ilagay niyo siya dyan, pero when the law enforcement agencies want him already, you present him.
You present him.
Yeah.
So si Alan Peter is medyo remiss siya dun sa ano na ginawa niya na dapat by law, as you would put it, dapat na andun lang siya sa premises. Hindi siya dapat pinatakas.
Yeah.
Yung van daw ni Pia ang ginamit. Ginawa? Yung van ni Pia ang ginamit. At saka piluka. Wig ni Marcoleta. Totoo ba yun? Si Atty. Rizzo po.
Kasi galing sa akin yan, hindi galing kay Sir Dojo. Ito yung lumalabas sa social media, di ba? We're just talking about it, basically. Yung van po na ginamit, well, sinabi naman na ni Senator Bato during an interview with another network naman yan. Sinabi ni Senator Bato kay Jessica So, sinabi naman niya doon na ang nagpasundo sa kanya is Alan Peter Cayetano.
Okay.
Hindi niya lang alam kung sino yung may-ari ng sasakyan, but it was Alan Peter Cayetano. So regardless kung kay Pia Cayetano yun or kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, at the end of the day, they facilitated him getting in the Senate premises. So yun po, that in itself naman, if you evaluate it, hindi naman talaga siya, it can't be obstruction of justice. Kasi nga, dinala lang naman nila si Senator Bato inside the Senate premises. No? But siguro, ang question dito is, tumulong ba si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano sa pag-escape ni Bato? Yun yung magiging question doon. As to the wig of Marcoleta, naka-wig ba talaga siya? So, hindi ko sure.
Hindi, yun lang.
Is there confirmation ba na naka-wig talaga?
Yun lang may mga binulong sa akin. Yung mga nakasulat dito. Tanong ko na.
Ano mo nga yung mga writers mo, sir?
Attorney Ray. Pero ako naman, before the ito on a personal note naman ito, Riz, no? Like you said, it was the van that brought him there. So, prior to everything, before everything has happened, it follows that the group of, I do not know, the group who picked him up, si grupo ni Alan Peter, knows already the whereabouts of Senator Bato. Isn't that sort of one way of saying it's harboring
a fugitive, quote-unquote, no?
Quote-unquote.
So, yeah, basically that's a very good point, no? Because saan mo ipapasundo? Kung hindi mo talaga alam, di ba?
It means meron ka ng prior, di ba?
Knowledge kung saan talaga, yeah. So, that is something that Alan Peter Cayetano needs to explain to the public talaga. Because if you're going to ask me, that's questionable. So all along pala, hinahanap natin si Bato, alam mo pala, and you're still tolerating na nag-aawol siya for 6 months na may sweldo, di ba? Tapos, dinala mo doon. Ang ano nga dito, sir, I don't know if the DDS are also looking at this. Dapat magalit si Bato kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Because sinacrifice si Bato para lang maging Senate President siya, dinala nila si Bato within Senate premises when in fact, alam nila na pwede siyang hulihin doon.
Gandang point yan, Oo nga,
Di ba? Okay na sana si Bato na nagtatago Kahit magtagal ka pa dyan ng ilang taon, nagtago ka na lang, wag ka lang mapahuli. Pero, sinacrifice nila yung freedom ni Bato, dinala sa Senado para lang ma-secure yung votes. And Bato was very vocal about it. Sinabi niya, nandun lang po ako para iboto si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano as Senate President.
Tapos wala na siya, umalis na, di ba? Tapos na.
So, hindi na naman niya gagawin yung trabaho niya.
Correct.
Yeah. Ang ano pa dito, sir, Marcoleta even proposed parang a resolution na parang nakalagay doon that the senators will be allowed teleconferencing.
Mhm.
So ibig sabihin kahit nagtatago si Bato, ang weird naman, 'di ba? Parang nagtatago si Bato tapos umaattend siya ng session via Zoom.
Mhm. Right.
And okay lang sa atin 'yon, na
Oo,
parang,
kaya nga
'di ba?
Oo. Eh, yung iba nga daw, 'di ba, ang ano nga diyan yung ibang may trabaho, ma-absent lang na 1, 2, 3 araw o isang
Mm.
linggo, tanggalan ka na ng sweldo o tanggal ka
Mm.
na sa trabaho. Ito, ilang buwan na wala talaga, may sumisweldo lahat sa kaya nga.
300,000 yun, sir.
Oo. Ay, yung personal niya, plus pa yan eh. Di ba?
Plus 5, nakalagay sa salin niya, sir, na majority of the people in his staff are relatives. May anak siya doon, may kapatid, may pamangkin.
Mhm.
Politica all the way. Politica all the way. Politica all the way.
Let's go to the impeachment, Attorney Reyes, no? Ito, isa sa pinakamalaking iniiwasan daw nila is the AMLAC,
Mm.
no? Kasi yun ang talagang very damaging. In fact, some of my
Yeah.
friends who are, with the DDS, kasi lahat ng mga kaibigan ko yung mga left, kung saan sila, yun lang ang sinasabi nilang medyo magiging damaging.
Mm.
Now, I do not know if sila Attorney Mans Carpio daw and VP Sara inihabla daw ang AMLAC or something like that, no? Will that fly? Will that prosper? Anong magiging implication niyan?
Well, I think it's very clear under sa batas natin, no? Even they're asserting the bank secrecy law. They're asserting the AMLA law. Pero under the AMLA law naman, pwede namang i-release yun kasi hindi naman siya bank transactions basic. These are just parang summary of bank transactions na naman to. Hindi, we're not delving into specifics kung saan dineposit ito, anong branch, anong etc. So walang ganon, walang private information basically of the Vice President. Nasa AMLA law to na kapag there are suspicious and questionable transactions, kailangan mo talaga siyang i-flag. And this should be available to the public. Diba? Yung second question is the bank secrecy law. Does it violate it? It doesn't, because very clear din sa bank secrecy law na an exception to the release of the bank information is impeachment. Nakalagay talaga doon, impeachment proceedings are included as an exception to the bank secrecy law. So pwede siyang i-pierce or pwede siyang i-release yung bank account details ng isang tao kung subject siya to impeachment.
Itong sa ICC, I don't know if this happened, but there are news daw with the ICC that si Digong, si Presidente PRRD, recently, sadly, nagkaroon ng konting slight accident na bumagsak daw or something, no? Will that in any way affect yung kanyang status dun sa ICC? Will that be grounds? Will that be a good ground for him to be just brought home or for humanitarian
Reasons,
di ba?
Sir, we have to remember na meron pong bagong counsel si Duterte. And ang sinabi po ng bagong counsel niya, si Solicitor Haynes, ang sinabi niya na they will assert again yung parang unfit for trial na angle. Basically, may sakit si Digong, he cannot face trial anymore. So parang, I think that leads to that So kung makikita nila na parang malubanan yung sakit ni Digong, na he's falling, parang nakita ko nga yung news na yun, na parang
kanina ko
bumagsak kanina, na bumagsak daw siya. Pero that doesn't give the the ICC a signal na ipauwi na si Digong. I don't think there's any way for him to go home anymore. Because even if magkaroon siya ng interim release, he will only be placed under the custody of a custodial state or yung state na member ng ICC.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, right now,
We're not a member.
we're no longer a member of the ICC. So wala na, hindi tayo
Wala.
considered one of the custodial state. No?
Yeah.
Okay. So kahit for humanitarian reasons, hindi talaga, lalagyan na lang siya dun sa ibang
Sir, you have to remember, sir, sa ICC po, marami pong mga presidente doon and former mga political leaders na na-convict na mas matanda pa kay Duterte. So hindi mo pwede sabihin na matanda na siya, hindi niya na kaya mag-face. Kasi mayroong mga 80 plus years old din na na-convict ng ICC .
Wow. Okay. Oh, name drop na dapat. Okay,
Dapat-
dito na tayo sa
Sige po.
laging masarap ang kwentuhan natin. Kulang tayo sa oras eh, no?
Sige po.
Dapat yata mga 3 hours para short time. Kahit short.
Palagi ba kayo nabibitin?
Oo, bitin lang. Okay, this is the name drop portion,
Mm.
Reyes, no? Attorney Reyes. I will, well, you know how it works. I'll
Mm.
drop a name and then
Mm.
whatever it is that comes to mind, sabihin mo lang agad.
Pero ano to, no holds barred to.
Oh, no holds barred to. Kahit
sige.
ano sabihin. Tapos pwede natin discuss pa kung
Mm.
pang ano lang. Okay, we start off with Secretary John Vic Remulla.
Safe, play safe.
Play safe.
Play safe.
Playing safe, ha? Playing
Play
safe siya, ha?
Yeah.
Okay. Ganun ba? Okay. Ombudsman, Boying Remulla.
The good Remulla, the better Remulla.
Parang ang ehersito pa
Parang
yan,
FC na rin. The good brother. Parang
Oh, okay. Ito. Lenny Robredo,
the future.
the future. Wow, okay. Ito mamaya na ito. Sino? Amy Marcos.
The past. para kasi for me, wala. Okay, can I explain? No?
Sige.
Kasi Ivy Marcos, I don't think there's a redemption arc for her. Eh.
Oh, okay. Wala na.
Downhill na talaga yung
Oo.
political ni Ivy Marcos. Eh.
Wala na talaga. Well, in the Fast and the Furious, kasi galit na sa kanya yata lahat.
Exactly, di ba?
Sa Fast and the Furious.
Tama.
Di ba,
The Fast and the
hindi
Furious,
ba?
yeah.
Okay. Bongo.
Bongo is watch out.
Watch out, ha?
Watch out kasi
Cool.
possibly siya na naman yung next na tirahin ng ICC.
Oh, okay. Robin Padilla.
Robin Padilla, actor. Artista naman talaga siya, di ba?
Hindi, pero sabi nila, director na raw ngayon eh. Dahil,
Oh, baka
Yung
nga
nangyari,
din producer na din eh. Actor, director. Produced by Robin Padilla, directed by Robin Padilla, actor Robin Padilla.
okay, Win Gatchalian.
Matotrouble ata ako sa mga sinasabi ko. Ako, Win Gatchalian, possible Senate President.
Oh, okay. Erwin Tulfo.
Erwin Tulfo, assertive.
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 Rafi Tulfo.
Parang gusto ko rin sabihin na pero I think they're okay naman silang pareho. Rafi Tulfo is talaga siya. I think possible tandem for Lenny Robredo.
Okay. Ping Lacson.
Ping Lacson is matapang.
Yapang. Okay. Rodrigo Duterte.
Rodrigo Duterte, ha? How to describe Rodrigo Duterte? Ano yan, siguro, human rights violator. Yun talaga. I think
human rights violator.
that's the highlight of his entire administration. Na human rights violator talaga siya.
Okay. Alan Peter Cayetano.
10K.
10K,
di ba?
10K.
There are 10,000 reasons to love or hate Alan Peter Cayetano.
O baka mas marami daw yung hate eh. Oh,
Baka umabot din na 10K. Pero yeah, whether you like him or hate him, there are 10,000 reasons.
Pero very prayerful, ha? Very prayerful. Di ba?
Tawag nga ng iba sa kanya, pastor daw eh.
Pastor na.
He can be a Senate President and a pastor at the same time. No?
Pwede, ha? Lalabanan niya pa si Joel.
Lalabanan niya si Kibuloy.
Okay. Sino ito?
Parang mali ata na punta ako dito. Baka abangan ako sa labas.
VP Sara Duterte.
VP Sara Duterte will never be president.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. May I ask why?
Because I feel like the people are, parang ito na yung awakening ng tao. Even if hindi ma-impeach and ma-convict si VP Sara, the least that the impeachment is doing right now is making known to the people what kind of a person and a public servant she is. Diba? So parang in the future, and you will see it in ratings eh. Pababa na siya, yung downhill slope niya. Yung ibang tao, even Bongbong Marcos, pataas yung rating. Even, of course, Lenny Robredo, pataas yung rating. So, ang sinasabi lang dito, na namumulat na yung mga tao. And people, once mamulat yan, hindi na yan, sabi nga ni Lenny Robredo, hindi na yan muling pipikit.
Maganda yan. Namulat. Okay, last but not the least, sinabi mo na kanina, but sige, Bongbong Marcos, BBM.
BBM, right now is, well, Ang hirap. Well, we support, ako kasi, I support the government in whatever capacity that I
Yes,
can because I do consultancies for the government as well. Pero right now, with all the issues, eto, particular lang to with all the issues, I think he is too silent.
Okay.
With all of these issues, I think that's as the chief executive, magsalita ka na po.
And with the talk should have also the walk.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Para yung action na ano. There's so many things na I can also still make kwento and discuss with Attorney Reyes, pero we're so, sayang, naubos na yung
Salamat
oras
po.
natin. Ang
Sobrang
bilis
thank you.
eh.
Yeah.
Bilis ako. We
Very
should do
grateful.
this again, no?
Yeah.
Para,
Invite me anytime po.
If you were to sing a song about the country now, what
Hindi
would
ako
you sing?
marunong kumanta eh.
Ha?
Hindi ako marunong kumanta talaga, sir. Pero ikaw na lang kumanta, sir. Pero siguro ang ano ko sa country ngayon, no? Siguro, ano ba? Hindi ko alam eh. Welcome to the Black Parade. Alam mo ba? Alam mo ba?
Paano yun? Paano yun?
My Chemical Romance. Ano nga yung lyric? Ano nga yung a young boy. Pero yung ano nun, parang ang point kasi niya, will still carry on. Kahit nasa dark era tayo, will still carry on as Filipinos. Parang gano'n.
Well, that's good.
We're hopeful, yeah.
Akala ko kakantayin mo yung kanta ng ni Senator Bato eh.
Ay, hindi ko alam yung PMA. Or kung ano, dapat kantayin nila yung Lupang Hinirang para maalala nila kung para kanino ba talaga sila nagtatrabaho.
Attorney Reyes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you
a
very
pleasure.
much.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, pleasure's all mine.
Salamat.
Let's do this again.
Yeah.
Para ang dami ko nang and I'm hoping that I'm sure lahat ng ating mga nanonood sa Politika All the Way, marami rin tayong natutunan ngayon. Thank you, Attorney Reyes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Politica all the way.
Thank you again, Reyes, Attorney Reyes. Thank you. Okay, recap lang po tayo. Sabi po ni Attorney Reyes, daw po inaway ni Sara, ni VP Sara si BBM, hindi sana madadala sa ICC si Presidente Digong. Ayan, dapat na hindi niya inaway. Number 2, sabi niya po, dapat daw pong magalit si Bato at ang mga DDS kay Alan Peter Cayetano because kamuntik na daw pong mahuli para lang maiboto siya bilang Senate President. And last but not the least, si BBM daw as President, more than anything else, this time should not be silent. Dapat daw po magsalita na at umaksyon. At dyan po nagtatapos ang Politika All the Way. Tandaan po natin, opinion lang, diskusyon, hindi po away, ay hindi po personalan. Ito po si Jojo A. Peace and love.
Politica all the way. Politica